observe our Sabbath, and we move from that palace of time, that special opportunity for us to reflect and remove ourselves from the world a little bit, to re-enter the mundane nature of the world. And so we have our wine and our spices and our fire, our candle, and our blessing for Havdalah itself. Havdalah meaning separation, separating between Shabbat, the Sabbath, and the rest of the week. And so if you know the tune or the words, please join us. The words are here in Hebrew in transliteration and translation. And we'll sing a little bit, and then we'll get to our presentation. So please join us. Ya Eli, ya la 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 la, ya Eli, ya la 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 la, la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya Eli, ya la 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 la, ya Eli, ya la 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 la. La la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen borei peri hagafen. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la. Number 2, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei v'samim, borei minei v'samim. Ya la ya la 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 la, ya la ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei ha'esh borei me'orei ha'esh. Ya la ya la 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 la, ya la ya la 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 la, la 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 ya la la, ya la 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 ya la la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil ben kodesh lecho ben or lecho oshech ben Yisrael amim ben yom hashvi'i l'sheshet yamei ha'maaseh. Baruch atah Adonai hamavdil ben kodesh lecho. Eliyahu hanavi, Eliyahu hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu hagiladi, bimheira b'yameinu, yahavo eleinu, Mashiach ben David, Mashiach ben David, Eliyahu hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi. And as we ended with our words ushering in, urging Eliyahu Hanavi, Elijah the prophet, to come and signal our redemption and the redemption of all of humanity, I hope it happens for us this week. But in any event, Shavua Tov. Have a good week. And with that, we're going to transition now. I'm going to turn on these lights, and we are going to switch to the next part of our program. Aha, lights. Everyone can take their seats. Thank you so much for bringing that up here. And Susan, are you ready? Yeah, they should be on.
Thank you for coming. I would like to introduce Carl Frazier. I have known Carl for a long time. We're both getting old, right? So I've got this in tiny, tiny print here. So bear with me, okay? Temple Beth Shalom has been involved with the Topeka Peace and Justice Center for many years, yes. And we have contributed to their program and their cause as well for many, many years, as well as having people serve on their board of directors, and I was one for a while. Yes. The program itself is very active in dealing with multiculturalism, racism, war, peace, women's issues, children's issues, responding to hate speech, fostering programs that discourage bullying, which is a wonderful program, yes, and restorative justice practices, and many other areas that promise our community has many problems that our community has faced and is facing. Peace and Justice Center has been a very active force here in Topeka. And Carl, as their president, has been really active in that area. So I'd like you to welcome Dr. Carl Frazier.
Thank you, Susan. I like to call Susan my friend. Susan, again, was on the board, and now, seems like every time we always get reconnected. Now we are chaplains with the Topeka Police Department now. So along with the rabbi, he's a chaplain too, amen. So it's good to be here. Also, we like to acknowledge Devin Pott now is currently on our board from the organization. Before Dennis Dotson, and every year we always make sure we have someone from your faith on our board, which is making it very, very, and we can't find no one. I'm calling the rabbi. Rabbi, we need someone. Amen. So here, thank you for being inviting me here today, and I'd like to thank my daughter and my son-in-law for being here, supporting me tonight. So this evening, the Topeka Center for Peace and Justice, we are celebrating our 40th anniversary this year. We are excited. Give us a hand, amen. We have many challenges. We have dealt with many challenges, and we got many challenges to deal with it in the present and future. When Bill Beachy thought about this organization, he came to me, several times. He was a very friendly guy, and he said, "Do you know who I am?" I said, "No, I didn't know. I'm Bill Beach." I said, "Okay." But later on, I found how important it was. He helped start the Topeka Center for Peace and Justice. And really, I love the Topeka Center for Peace and Justice. This is the reason I love it, because we realize that we might be different on our faith, but we should not be different on justice. And that's the reason we can have so many people across the table and with us, because we have so many different faith on our board. And all the different faith that we have on our board, we work together. I'm glad to have another board member here. She's getting off the board, but Carol, thank you for Christensen. And plus her husband, John, been on our board before too. So it might be some other people, anybody that's been on the board that's been here that I don't know anything about. But yeah, we are really intense in the community, because we know that there's many things that's going on in our community. Just the other day, I had a phone call. A lady left a message and said that a man without a gun got shot behind her house. She called the Pico Center for Peace and Justice because she wanted an answer. I called the new police chief, and he had sent a report out, but he answered the phone and said, my friend, I said, hey, what's up? I'm surprised he answered the phone. He said, yeah. But one of the things we try to do is calm down situations in our community. And so one of the things she has a concern about is why this man shot someone and he's on administrative leave, paid leave. Well, that's a normal procedure. I think a lot of times people don't know normal procedure. And also I let her know that the KPI is investigating the situation. So hopefully within 30 or 60 days, we have a report. And from that report, it will give us the details. But until then, we have to wait. Those are some of the things that we work on in the Center for Peace and Justice. But the last few years, one of the great things we have done is work with youth that have touched the criminal justice system. About 2 weeks ago, I mediated a case where a young man brought a gun to school and pointed at someone, and so he served some time in jail, I think 19 days, and got a diversion. And we talked to him, and some of the questions we tried to talk about, he said, why you do it? What's on your mind? What were you thinking about? You know, the pain that you caused your parents, the money that they had to pay out, you know, and so we try to put and instill in them that, hey, this is not a good thing that you're doing. But also, I believe that in most instances, that people deserve a second chance. I have done things wrong in my life, and I think that everybody should get a second chance as possible. So we get referrals from the district attorney through the county, and from those referrals, what we do is appoint mediators. We got a grant from the Sunflower Foundation a few years ago, where all our mediators was predominantly older white people. With no diversity. And so through that grant, we diversified our mediators. We got all colors, all different religions. We have Muslim, all as mediators. Because I think that diversity is very important if we're gonna do this work. And from that, we realized that from that diversity, we are improving our community. And that's what the Pico Center for Peace and Justice want to do, is to improve the community that we live in. No matter how long you've been in a community, there's always room for improvement. I know I've been around for a long time. I've been married for 35 years. And my wife always reminds me, there's always room for what? Improvement, amen. So, so you know, there's always room for improvement. But the mission of the Pico Center for Peace and Justice is to promote justice and peace through education, action, and social change by working with individuals and organizations in Topeka and surrounding counties. And also, we are trying to diversify where we work in state. We have a national and also international. One of our employees went on an international peace trip to Africa this past year. So we are trying to work on build a global organization as possible. We think that we offer some great things in our community. For us, we have three pillars. We got community, justice, and schools. Our community is where we work with. We had a grant expired last year from Kansas University. We created a program called the PYF program, which was Parent Youth Facilitator. These individuals that have got in trouble, but yet touch the criminal justice system, and we do mediation, facilitation with these youth. We also do Peace Camp. Anybody heard of Peace Camp? Yeah, we do Peace Camp, and every year we have the elementary, we have middle school, and we're also trying to do a high school Peace Camp. We do family support in the community when the Ukraine family started coming in. Guess who they called? Topeka Center for Peace and Justice. And Karen Hiller said, "You're a pastor, and I know that you can get a van to get these people to Topeka." And that was my job, to get a van to get these people to Topeka. So we helped with the first group of families to come to Topeka. And also, we was the financial we was opportunity to get donations from them until they was able to get their own 501c3. Every year, we do the Martin Luther King Jr. Program. We just finished that, and it was a great success. We partnership with several organizations. So we're Living the Dream, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, and other organizations to make this a great program. We gave out $10,000 to 4 scholarships for $2,500 each, total $10,000 to 4 youth this year, and so that they can have an opportunity to go to college. Also, we have volunteers. We train you. Want to be a volunteer? We train you to be part of the Neighborhood Accountability Program. The Neighborhood Accountability Program is that you come when we mediate the youth, and what the deal is that most of the time the offender, the person that the crime happened to, cannot be there. So we have someone to replace them. And that's what you call neighborhood accountability person. And they come in there and they act like that you hurt them. You know what? I'm hurting. You know why this happened? Why you did this to the person? So we have those type of training. Also, our annual peace party we do, where that's our annual fundraiser, and we have an opportunity to do that and to be able to ask for donations to help us during the year. This year, I'm excited about our peace party. Like I said earlier, this is our 40th anniversary. We have the one and only Glenda Washington as our chair of our 40th anniversary, and we are excited about that. We are in partnership with YMCA and also YWCA. We have, like we said earlier, Susan said, anti-bullying program, and we've been training and training and training. And I'm saying one more time, training mediators so that we can be the best. Do you know that in order for you to be a mediator, you got to go through training, you got to do the practicum, you got to submit information to the state to get state certified, and your certificate got to be on the wall in order for you can be able to mediate these cases for these youth. And I'm glad that we probably about 80% compliance this year, and even my name's on there. Give me a hand. Also, this year, 2 years ago, what we did was we was mediate these cases, but we found out mediation was not enough. And so we got a grant from the Kansas Department of Correction for $300,000 in partnership with another organization, and we created a program called POP. POP stands for Peace Outreach Program, and with this program, we make sure that the youth go to a behavior training. so that they don't repeat those same things they did before. And through the behavior training, after they, so we're in a section of those behavior training, then they come for mediation, and then they are better off. And so we're glad that we be able to do that, because before we weren't able to do a whole lot of things. This year, I'm hoping that we can do a grant that not only handle behavior, but also mental health. Now, when I was growing up, I might have had mental health, but my mama might have, no. He said, no, there's nothing wrong with you. But what we got to deal with this issue. We got to be serious about this issue. And so this year, I'm thinking about doing a program, not only to deal with behavior issues, but also mental health issues. And so that we can have what you call a wraparound program for these youth. And let me say this, I'm glad that they're able to come into our office. We was able to get $100-some thousand in part from the opera dollars, and part of that dollars that now we have a nice facility that these youth can come in, a place that I'm proud of, a room that we can do. Also, sometimes we get cases from youth that did the crime in Shonen County, but they done moved to another county. And so now we have the technology to do Zoom mediations and all of that. We have a nice building. I want to invite you to our building. 2 years ago, I wouldn't have said this, but we have a nice. We done paint it for you when you come in. We got nice. We got a nice space in the office. Before we had a panel that was 5 different colors. Carpet, there were 3 or 4 different colors. But now everything's harmonizing. It's nice. So sometimes 2914, come, you can welcome to get a tour of our building. We're very proud of it. We was able to get, like I said, dollars to remodel. Even upstairs, the Disciples of Christ, we read from them, and they done start remodeling their part too. So we're excited where we at again. The next thing is that we are in the schools. This is what I find out is that a lot of times there is grant money for kids that have touched the criminal justice system, but it's not enough money to prevent them. And a lot of times the principal in the school and the teachers can already identify the kids that already have problems. And so therefore, if we can identify these kids early, these students early, we can possibly help them and talk to them. A lot of times, they just want someone to talk to. They don't have, a lot of times, they don't have any attention. They might only have one parent, and they only have some issues. They have issues, but we have one of our workers go into schools. We do restore the circles. They do build up different things for the schools. We just got a new grant from Shonen County to work with, I call post prevention. That means that people who have touched the system, but we want to make sure they don't get back in the system. And so we are looking for someone to work in that program. Or we're trying to get into 2 other schools in 501, the alternative schools, where we can help with those youth with restorative. So our program is awesome. I'm thankful for my board that work with us and try to make things better. Without my board and community, it'd be impossible to have the Topeka Center for Peace and Justice. We've been around. I hope that we continue to be around. This is my 2nd year as the executive director. I was really 3rd year, but 1st year was interim, and I've been selected 2 years. So this is great work. The work I do now, Rabbi, I look at it like this. So a person playing basketball in middle school, high school, that go to college and go and play ball and get drafted to the pros. I feel like I've been drafted to the pros in peace and justice. I love what I do, and this was my heart, because I grew up in a small town in Arkansas where there was white only, where there was a lot of discrimination, where there was some issues, or where we had to go into the one part of the doctor's office was this small, and where the white people went was that big, you know. And I used to wonder why we had to go on this side, when everybody else go on the other side. So I'm used to where there have been discrimination between black farmers and all of that. So now I can work with people, and not only work with people, but Susan love people. No matter who you are, I'm gonna give you a hug. No matter who you are, I'm gonna try to love you and make sure that when you call the Topeka Center of Peace and Justice, that you're gonna get a good answer. And I'm gonna make sure I make the contacts to make sure that you get a good answer. And then as I close, I want to make sure that our community is the best place that they ever been in Topeka. I don't know why God put me in Topeka. When my wife told me she got a job at Payless Shoes years ago, Lord knows I didn't want to go to Kansas. Matter of fact, it was so bad, my wife told Payless Shoes, just give me some money so I can drive back and forth with tolled and all that. And she must have thought, I really believe my wife is saved because the Lord changed my mind. And so that's where I'm stuck in Topeka, Kansas. But while I'm here, I want to make sure that we have the best place. And I thank God for the relationship we have with the city, county, and the state. Because without those relationships, it's impossible to do the job that we do every day. Thank you. God bless you. I know there are questions or.
I just want to say, I want to say thank you so much for speaking to us. And of course, if anyone has any questions, we'd love if you would answer them. Does anyone have any questions about Pastor Frazier's work at the Topeka Center of Peace and Justice? For Peace and Justice.
A little bit more about the restorative circles in school.
Yeah. So we.
Can you summarize it just for people online? Oh, the question. They won't be able to.
Yeah. The question is, can I say a little bit more about restorative circles in schools? So we have Regina Platt that go in there. We in Robinson and a couple other schools, and she worked with the girls to talk about issues in their life and their schools. And right now, I think it's around 12 or so. We're trying to keep it small. So they have a good working group, and they have. It's about the relationship that the students have with Regina. They got her number. They Instagram her. The technology. Whenever they have an issue, they talk to her to make sure that they are in the right. When they have problems, like for example, a couple years ago, a couple of them father passed away, and they contact Regina because whatever going on in their life, we try to restore those issues. Okay, so bullying is what we're trying to do there. Again, talk to the youth and try to see what's going on with them. Bullying is we need to do more, but also we hope that through more funding, we can do more in bullying than we have done in the past. But it's still important, and when we identify it, we try to work with it. Any other questions? Yes.
What keeps you up at night?
That's a good one. Several things. One of the things is.
I want to repeat it so they can hear it online.
The question is, what keep me up at night? I said several things. Number one, make sure that we have the funding that we can do, make sure we're doing a good job and make sure there's equity because we can see the data, making sure all kids are if one kid get a diversion for a gun, if all kids are getting a diversion for guns, and making sure that my relationship with the city manager, the new police chief, or the DA. They understand that if I go left, it's not because of them, because I want to see social justice. You know. So other day, we did. I was on the news on about the affordable housing. We get quite a bit diversity of issues that come our way. And so I got a call about doing a press conference for affordable housing. And I know the this new city manager, he just came in and he had a lot of issues that he got to deal with. But yet, there were $1 million that's sitting at the city hall, nothing done with it, and we see homeless people all over the place. I mean, it just touched my heart. About 2 or 3 months ago, I read off 29th and Wanamaker, that car wash, that self-service car wash. I saw the woman that I saw a person that was in the car, and it was filled up to the top, I mean, to the ceiling. And I said, it got to be a homeless person that stalled. So I came back to the woman and the little girl. She was changing her little girl clothing, and it just hurt my heart that I feel like she was changing clothes to get her ready for school. Those things that we are the richest country in America. There should not be no one homeless. In our city, I know Lawrence is doing some things in the other cities, and I said this many times. I read where LA, the mayor of LA, I read where she refused to move anybody off the streets unless she have a place for them to stay. So we have done the opposite here. We have destroyed a lot of places where people stay, and then they got to move somewhere else. And they moving, and then the other morning I was read at on 17th and Wanamaker eating at IHOP. And there was a homeless person sleeping on the sidewalk right there. And I told the waitress, let me in, and I paid for whatever it was. If there was anything else extra, I'll pay him when I get back. What I'm saying is, we got to do something. It's too cold out there. It's too cold out there. So those are the kind of things that keep me up at night, because when we look at all the things that's going on, but also I'm hoping that we can start. We've been talking about a program, the same diversion program we got for youth. We're talking about doing another one for the people 18 to 25, and try to get help there and make sure they can get restored to a job, restored in the ways that they need to be restored. So, yeah. Any other questions? Yes, John. John?
There used to be a program at the Center for Peace and Justice about welcoming refugees.
Yeah.
In light of the recent election and kind of an animosity toward those kinds of people, what can the Center for Peace and Justice, or what can we do as individuals to try to counteract that?
Yeah. So I forgot who was over that program, but when they left, I thought that program left when they left. So the question was, we used to have a program at Topeka Center for Peace and Justice that helped with the refugees, people coming in to our city. So at this time, we don't have that program right now, but I'm willing to talk about it because there's a need. You know, the administration just stopped. I forgot about 15,000 refugees supposed to come here that been approved, and they stopped them. They stopping them from coming. You know, they already been approved several months ago, but they stopped. They are stopping them from coming over here. So, and the ones that's here, they still need help. I mean, to get things around education and all the other things. So, whatever we need to do, I mean, Because what's going on is this, people are calling me once a week or so. How can we do this? And the only way we can do it is more volunteers, more people helping, more resources, because we're only limited what we can do according to our funding. And now some of the funding that we get is going to be, if we help other people, we probably won't get the funding, you know. But we have to have a different funding source to help the people other than state and federal funding, I believe. And we have to be really careful on how we do it, because the word is out that it doesn't matter, that they're gonna try to do whatever they do to get people deployed from here to their own country. So we really got to be really careful, yeah. Yes?
Do you have any programs that deal with the seriously mentally ill and help with coordination of services?
Okay, yeah, no, we don't yet. But one of the grants that,
Question. Repeat the question.
yeah, thank you. Do we have any programs currently to help with severe mental illness? And the question is, no, we don't right now. But I was on a call this past week with a grant person, and there is funding out there for mental health, but it's also people who have touched the criminal justice system. So that, we don't try to get funding for that, but it'll be people who have touched the criminal justice system. And that's terrible, because one of the things that we find out now is that really Shawnee County got a better mental health Shawnee County Jail got almost a better mental health program now than the people outside. And I used to do prison ministry, and most of the times, about 60 to 80% people in jail is because of what? Mental health. So when we have the programs outside, it would be a whole lot better. Then also, when they get out of jail, I think they only give them enough medicine for so many days. Then they're out of medicine. So the system, it works against our people. It works against our people. So there needs to be a better program, no doubt about it. And other thing is this, when you put people, when Bill Bill Persinger was the CEO, I had his number on my speed dial. Vallejo, yeah, I had his number on my speed dial. And I called him, I said, man, I need this person right here in there. He could make a call and put them in there. But you know what happened? I get them in there, and after a day, they can check themselves out. That's the sad part right there. You work hard to get people in, but the state law is that if a person feel like they need to get out, they can get themselves out. I have had a mother, even with drug and alcohol problems, I have had a mother come to me and say, why they can check themselves out? I mean, it's frustrating to me, because they're calling me and say, I need help. And then by the time you get in there, a couple of days later, they're out. So it's got to be something out there where we can, a mandatory, at least, I don't know how long it takes them to work their problems out, 5 days or whatever, but it should be a mandatory days that they need to be in there before they can check themselves out. Yeah. Any questions? Any other questions?
Well, once again, I want to thank you for speaking to us, Pastor Frazier.
Yeah.
Our tzedakah this month, or our righteous giving, tzedakah means righteous giving, is committed to the Topeka Center for Peace and Justice, so that we can continue to be a part of your ongoing mission. Okay. So thank you very much.
Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. All
And
right.
thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Woo!